For over a century, people near the small village of St. Louis, Saskatchewan, Canada, have reported the same impossible sight: a glowing light traveling along the path of an abandoned railroad. It often appears as a strong white orb, sometimes accompanied by a dimmer red or orange light, mimicking the headlamp and signal light of an approaching locomotive. What makes this unsettling is not just how often it appears, but who has seen it. Farmers, police officers, railway workers, journalists, scientists. Some witnesses have reported seeing it dozens of times across their lives. Not once, not twice, over and over again. People say that when they walk down the old rail bed at night, the light appears behind them. It doesn't rush. It doesn't chase. It follows, maintaining distance, until without warning, it simply vanishes. One of the most common legends claims a railway worker was killed on the tracks in the early 20th century, sometimes said to have been decapitated, and that the light is his spirit, still searching the line with his lantern or phantom train headlight. Burial ground rumor. Darker belief says the railway crossed land that was disturbed long ago. Some locals whisper that the light appears because something underneath was never meant to be uncovered, and the glow is a sign of unrest rather than a human ghost. Over the decades, hundreds of witnesses have described the same experience, often without knowing the stories beforehand. One local farmer, interviewed in the mid-1900s, described it like this. He said the light appeared exactly where the tracks once ran. Not beside them. Not above them. Directly on the line. He watched it move forward, stop, then drift sideways as if searching. When he turned his truck engine off, the light remained. When he turned it back on, it faded, slowly, like it was retreating. A former railway worker told a journalist that the light behaved like it knew the railroad. He said it followed curves that no longer existed. Curves that only someone familiar with the old track layout would know. Police officers have also gone out to investigate reports. One officer stated that he initially believed another vehicle was approaching on the rail bed. He slowed down, expecting to meet a train head-on. Then he realized something was very wrong. There were no tracks, no sound. And the light was hovering too smoothly, too deliberately. He said it vanished suddenly, as if someone had turned off a switch. Journalists who visited the site expecting a simple optical illusion often left unsettled. One reporter wrote that the light appeared behind them while they walked, maintaining distance, no matter how fast they moved. When they stopped walking, the light stopped too. Some witnesses swear the light reacts. If you walk toward it, it pulls away, and if you turn your back, it follows. Because the light was seen so frequently, it didn't remain folklore for long. It was investigated. Scientists and skeptics proposed explanations involving distant vehicle headlights, distorted by the unusually flat terrain and atmospheric refraction. In the 20th century, a student science project even demonstrated how headlights from faraway roads could appear to float directly along the former rail line. And yet, even after roads changed, even after traffic patterns shifted, even after experiments explained how the illusion might occur, the light kept appearing. The phenomenon became so embedded in Canadian culture that it was later featured on television programs, written about in newspapers, and even commemorated on a Canadian postage stamp, not as a ghost, but as a mystery that refused to be dismissed. So what is it? A trick of light? A perfect illusion, repeated for generations. Or something stranger, something tied to a place that remembers what once moved through it. No one has proven a supernatural cause. But no one has fully erased the mystery either. And that is why, more than 100 years later, people still drive out onto the prairie at night, stand where the tracks used to be, and wait.